Hi, Melina here. I just wanted to do my March right? Yeah, March wrap up. I started off the month reading Jocelyn's story. I don't know if that'll focus. It's a side story that Cassandra Clare made. It's kind of the original version of what Jocelyn's backstory was supposed to be in City of Glass. And it's a bit longer and it's a bit different, but I still liked it. I still thought it was good. I think I gave it a 4 stars. And yeah, I'm kind of trash for anything that is Shadowhunter related, so I wanted to read it to say I read it, and I enjoyed it. I'm not sure what order these go in, but also in the month of March I read Attack on Titan, Volume 1. I recently binge-watched the anime on Netflix, and I was obsessed, and basically I decided that I wanted to start getting into the manga, because I usually like reading the manga first. It's just, I didn't know if I'd like this or not, and I read it. It was a lot of content. Like, there was a couple episodes worth of content in here. Obviously I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because the story is amazing in these. If you haven't tried the manga or the anime, you should. But it was kind of super fast-paced to where I feel like if I hadn't watched the anime first, I probably wouldn't really know what was going on completely in the manga, but I still followed it for the most part naturally, and obviously I knew what was going on because I watched the anime previously, but the art is gorgeous, the story is fantastic, and I really want to continue on with this, especially since Season 2 just started, and I'm excited to kind of just fully immerse myself in everything Attack on Titan. Then I read an arc. It's out now, but at the time I read, before it came out, an arc of The Beast is an Animal by Peter Nell Van Arsdale, and it quickly became the best book that I've read so far this year, at least. It's a standalone fantasy, which you don't really usually see, and vibes of it, parts and aspects of it, reminded me of The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, but it's obviously very different on its own. It has a very strong fairy tale-esque vibe. It's basically about these two kind of witches who are called soul eaters because they suck the soul out of people, and that's how they kill them. And it's basically within just the first chapter, they go to a village and they're planning on killing everyone there, but they encounter a little girl, and she isn't afraid of them, and it makes them want to keep her alive, and they decide to just spare all the children of the village and kill all the adults, and you kind of follow the little girl that encountered them throughout the whole story. It's very magical, it's very beautifully written, and yeah, so far I've read a lot of good things this year, but this is the best, and if I don't read anything later this year that blows it out, it'll probably be my favorite book of 2017. I also read an arc of The Book of Polly by Kathy Heppenstall. Also the other one I obviously gave 5 out of 5 stars, but this one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was cute. It's very southern. It's very, it has a strong southern vibe to it. It is about a girl named Willow, and her mother is very old. Her mother's Polly, and she's a very angry lady, but she had her very old. She had her when she was about late 40s, I believe. And so Willow lives with the constant fear that since her mother is so much older than the other mothers, that she's going to die. And it sounds kind of dark in that sense, but it's actually very funny. It's a very whimsical contemporary, and I loved all of the characters, even the side characters. They were very well fleshed out, very adorable, and I loved Polly. I pictured her as the Arthur from Golden Girls, and she was just really cool. And also, the thing that I really love about this cover is that as you start reading it, you can tell that the picture was specifically made just for the book. Like, she wears the same thing, there's the bird, it comes into play later, and it's just, I like things that you can tell are specifically made for that. So, yes, this one was really cute, and it stuck with me, and I would highly recommend it, 4 out of 5 stars. I checked out from the library this one, Summer, by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. I honestly didn't enjoy it too much. I was sad about that. It is about a girl, and she basically goes to this, like, summer lodge with her family, like, every year, and she has this friend there that she hangs out with, but it feels weird, because I'm pretty sure it's a graphic memoir, and it always feels weird kind of judging memoirs or autobiographies in any kind of way, because it's kind of like you're judging somebody's experiences or stuff about their life, and if you don't like certain people, it's like you're actually saying you don't like people who actually exist, and it's weird. But most of the people in this I didn't like. I couldn't connect with. I thought they were very selfish and very flat, even though they are based on real people. I will say the art was gorgeous. That was probably my favorite thing about this, because I believe I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars, and the main thing that helped this was the art. But yeah, I think that other than that, well, I also thought that it was very cute, and I enjoyed the very brief scenes that happened here and there of them watching horror movies, but other than that, I wasn't really feeling it. But yeah, I have full, in-depth reviews for every single book that I read throughout the year, from this year and last year on Goodreads, and I can link my Goodreads down below if you guys want to check those out. And I'm not sure if it's the last one, but it was one of them that I read in March, but the last book I have here is the first book in this bind-up. This bind-up is called Afraid, but the first book in it is called Dance of Death by Joe Gibson. It is very your average 90s, like the thin, like cheesy paperback horror novels that came out for like teens back in the 90s. I actually picked this up at Dollar Tree because the second book in the bind-up sounded really good, and the first one sounded cheesy, but I wanted to just kind of read them in order for whatever reason. And, but Dance of Death is about basically this pair of cursed shoes, and it's these high school teenage girls. They go to this kind of carnival fair, and there's a tent where this woman is selling these shoes, and she says, hey, they're cursed, and she lets them know, but people don't really believe in it, and they decide to get them anyway, and it's just, you follow a bunch of these teenage girls that go to the same school, and whoever wears the shoes will at first have good luck, because they'll be blessed with talent, and then afterwards the shoes will start, like, kind of, it'll do the complete opposite, and it'll give you bad luck, and bad things will start happening to you, and, it was cheesy. Super cheesy, but it was, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, or 3.5, something like that, because I really enjoyed myself. At the time, I had gone through, like, a reading slump where I hadn't read something for, like, almost a week, which is a reading slump for me, because I like always reading something every single day, and, the first book in this bind-up, which admittedly is kind of short, it's, like, about halfway through, it was the first book that I read in just one sitting, and I enjoyed it. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of like one of those kind of bad but at the same time it's so bad that it's good horror movies that you can come across, like indie horror movies, so I would recommend that. And yeah, that's it. I'll be posting more videos coming up, and if you liked this, give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and yeah.